So, for this where we left off, we got our last bad ending by trying this. So we're gonna go with no, I should stop this time. The test having gone well, it still isn't a guarantee that I can get back to the Man Aquarium where phenomena are happening. Even if I succeed, I'll be separated from Himeno. But I'll definitely get home, I mutter to myself. It's strange since it's as if I'm talking to the entrance gate, but it's a declaration of my resolve. As I move forward, I spot the souvenir shop. It makes sense as I'm going back the way I came, but it gives me mixed feelings. Huh? It's there that I witness an unexpected sight. The girl from earlier is standing in front of the souvenir shop, apparently lost in thought. So the coordinates where the doorways lead have to be fixed by someone. Otherwise, there'd be no way you could have come across me being attacked by the Orca in the machine room. I don't really get what the girl, who's reassuring herself, is saying, so I change the subject. What's wrong? Did something happen at the souvenir shop? Just now, it looked like someone went inside. Someone? I don't know. It was just as they went in. But thanks to whoever it was, the coordinates are fixed on a safe place. It could have been Mari. Your missing little sister, right? I'm sorry, but no, this is definitely an adult. I glance over at the entrance to the souvenir shop. Even as I peer through the semi-transparent wall, there are no human shadows. Still, if the person she saw walked through a door and moved to different coordinates, it wouldn't be strange for there to be no one in there. The girl said it was an adult. Could it be Hiyoshi-san? Hiyoshi? Who's that? Someone who saved me when I was caught up in the dangers of Man Aquarium. He went crazy in the staff passageway and I moved ahead on my own. After I explained as simply as possible what happened back then, the girl just nods and says, Well, he might have gained his sanity and found an exit. Or he might be wandering around, still crazy. Whichever it is, I think it's worth checking out. Hiyoshi-san seemed to know things about Man Aquarium. Well, why don't you go? I'll be waiting here. Huh? Are you coming with me? I got all the way to my throat before I gulped it back down. Either way, if he's not here, we might not be able to go through the door and return to the safe place. Right, I don't know this Hiyoshi-san's face, so it's better for you to go. Come back in 5 minutes. If you don't, you'll leave me? Of course. The two of us both dying or getting hurt would just be stupid. Okay, we got you're mean or I got it. 60 seconds on the clock starting now. And of course, if no decision is made in the chat, I will give my best guess, and we'll continue on from there. I'm going to do a save, just in case. So, it's you're mean or I got it. Okay, we got about 25 seconds left to put in those decisions into the chat. As I said, this is one of the few games that I do allow that kind of backseat gaming. In fact, it's very much encouraged when it comes to a visual novel. Hopefully the audio levels are alright this time around. I noticed the music of the game was a little loud last time, so I did adjust it. In fact, I'm going to knock it down even more. Okay. Got it. Oh, you're so sincere. I don't think you're mistaken in what you said. Well, I'll wait for you without worry. Okay. Quietly, I open the door to the souvenir shop. The door closes on its own. Not that I haven't even tried to leave it open. Thinking back on it, no matter what room I entered, the door always shut on its own. Let's knock that down a little bit more. The lights aren't on, but I can still see where I'm going by the light shining through the semi-transparent wall. The only thing I can't see is the girl. The scenery visible from this room seems to reflect the time distortion affecting this room as well. The fact that I've become used to this strange phenomena is a little weird, even to me. The souvenir shop hasn't changed much from how I remember it. Numerous shelves are rearranged so that the purpose of each is visible. There are some for confectionaries, stationery, and stuffed animals. The keychains and cell phone straps are in a place that stands out. Since I can't find any calendars or magazines, I don't know how many years ago, or from now, this is. Inside the glass balls on the shelves are specimens of shrimp and jellyfish. Their price is high. Maybe this is the present. As one may expect, there's no sign of a shopkeeper. I walk the perimeter of the store in a semicircle. I study the floor carefully, but I find nothing. Sorry, just do one more slight adjustment. Perfect. There are so many things that catch my interest, but I can't seem to get interested in picking them up and looking them over closely. That crystal-like necklace, the seal stuffed animal. Right now I have no interest in orca or jellyfish merchandise. Now I know how a dog made to wait for a treat feels. I should check over there as well. I go behind the cash register counter, where I normally wouldn't be allowed to look. This is the staff's. It's what you'd call a back room. There are boxes full of products, a safe, and even employee uniforms. It looks similar to the staff room where the girl and I saw the diary, only this room is more narrow. Inside the back room, I find a door. Since this is a place for bringing in merchandise, it makes sense that there would be a passageway connecting it to somewhere else. I reach out to see for myself, but it's locked. No good, huh? As I turn back, thinking this has been fruitless, I find something. A lanyard with an ID card. It's been thrown on the ground, so I pick it up and take a closer look. I strain my eyes in the darkness. It bears the name Hiyoshi Kenji. So it's Hiyoshi-san or it's Kenji-san. I don't think that this choice matters. I'm going to do a quick save. I'm going to say... it is... Hiyoshi-san. This is Hiyoshi-san's. It's the same as the employee ID card that Hiyoshi-san had before we entered Manton Aquarium. There's no picture on it, so it's just words. But I remember it. The card is spotless. Unexpectedly, he's showing some propriety. So Hiyoshi-san has been here. Does that mean the one the girl saw was him? Could it be that he's headed for somewhere else from this room? But he was able to lock the door. When I entered the souvenir shop, he was already on his way out, and I only came after he locked the door. I had just missed him. I don't think there's anything else important here. I'll go back and tell that girl. I say that just as I realize it's almost been 5 minutes. I'm so glad this is a safe place. As if a reaction to the fact that I'm leaving, the sound of a dull thunk echoes. Ah! I let out a small scream. The sound is that of something falling. Even in the gloom, I can make out the outline of what fell. What? It's just a frog. Not what? There shouldn't be frogs in a souvenir shop. The proof of its identity is the shiny exterior that doesn't belong to an ornament or a toy. It's a large toad. I think it's the appropriate name, Giant Toad. The reason I know this is because of a TV show was talking about it recently. The story was about how, in Australia, the toad had been imported for pest control, but before they realized it, its population had increased and it was disrupting the ecosystem. Characteristic of the species is a gland on the back of its head that looks like a wart, from which it seems that it can eject venom. The venom was cited as the cause for alligators and other native species being killed. That's right, poison. What bad luck, I think as I clench my fist. But it's only one. I put a little more space than necessary between us to avoid the giant toad. That way, even if there was another lurking by, this should be okay. The shells become a wall for me. Even though frogs have the ability to jump, they shouldn't be able to reach that height. It's really loud for being just one toad, making a gwah sound rather than the normal croak. Gwah, gwah, gwah. Although it's poisonous, hearing its cry in a safe place like this makes me think of it as cute. Even though I think that, I can't be careless. A plopping sound resonates once more. The toad cries out, going from a death rattle-like sound to thin breathing, then finally a pause. It soon resumes with an even lower voice than before. What? Oh. I just got an achievement. I take a look where the toad was. It's nothing less than ghastly. The toad has been crushed by another frog that has fallen from the ceiling. Its four legs are widespread, its internal organs are leaked from its abdomen due to the fall. But that isn't all. The second frog has the white striped pattern characteristic of a certain type, but I don't know its name. When the other frog fell on the giant toad, it stimulated the gland, so naturally poison leaked out. At the edge of its right foot, the toes have already begun melting. Melting? No way. The frog's poison is an acid. It paralyzes or acts as a neurotoxin. If it gets in your eye, you can lose your eyesight, but basically it's for catching prey by poisoning it to death. This poison is different, and more brutal. However, the second frog is even more menacing. As if taking vengeance for the right leg it lost to poison, it secretes its own venom. The toad's corpse puts up no resistance, its body steadily melting away. I pinch my nose at the mixed stench of the dead body and the acid. Even as my spine grows cold, the room steadily becomes humid, most likely due to the breath of the living creatures in this room. The sight of the frog melting away from the poison is enough to cause bile to rise up in me for a moment. But there's no way I can look away from it. Beyond the fact that I don't know what's going to happen next, I have to pay attention as I head to the exit. I look up at the ceiling, but there's no sign that I'm being followed by any frogs. It's as if they fell from nowhere. If one falls on me, it means this place isn't safe anymore. I speed up as I head for the exit. The reason I don't break into a full run is because I know I might trip and fall at a time like this. Plop, plop, plop. A nearby sound fills me with fear and despair. Frogs fall right in front of me. 3, 4, it becomes difficult to count them. Just as I panic and attempt to turn back, I hear noises from behind me. Croak, gwah. They begin to speak in unison. The frogs are actually singing in a round, but I hate that they sound so joyful. Hearing the frogs croak on either side of me leaves me with nothing but fear. If I step on one of them, the poison would probably dissolve my foot. That being said, there isn't enough room to leap over them, and if I do, one of them might jump up and touch me. As if preparing to attack me while I'm off guard, their numbers increase even further. Crowded into such a small space, they are melting each other's bodies with their poison. I avert my eyes from the damaged frogs. As the danger increases, it's not a tragedy I can continue to watch. As the amount of bodily fluids on the floor increases, the frogs who step in the puddles of poison have their toes melted off. Then they just secrete their own fluids, and the cycle repeats. On top of that, there are those whose bodies are melted by their own poison as well. Somehow suppressing whatever's welling inside of me, I finalize my plan. Over here! I pull some merchandise off the shelf with my hand and make some space. The original two are still left, but it's better than being surrounded. I step out onto the floor and leave the shelf. To keep them from reproducing anymore. Quickly. No! As if they've been lying in wait, numerous frogs fall from every which way. They're small creatures with shrill voices, red and yellow, green and striped and varied. The intense amount of color saturation is making me feel sick. Where are all these damn frogs coming from? They're coming from like thin air. It's completely ridiculous. How you doing, by the way, Adrian? That seems to be the thing, is like they're falling out of vents, they're coming out of the walls, they're coming out of the ceiling, they're breaking through glass. It's all over the place. Yeah, this game is incredibly creepy. So these, it's supposed to be a giant toad on the ground, which has a poison gland that's meant to paralyze, but these ones have poison glands that are causing more of an acid effect. It's going well. I fell asleep in the middle of the day for some reason. I don't know what happened, I was just exhausted. I know this variety of frog well. Among poisonous frogs, it is the most infamous type. A poison dart frog. Even under normal circumstances, it carries deadly poison, stronger than those used in blow darts. If the strength of that poison is taken to intense levels like the other creatures here, it could probably instantaneously melt even my bones. What? Should I? There's still a distance between the floor and I. 3 steps. No matter what, I can't take those 3 steps. There's nowhere for my feet to land. The floor is covered in the squishy bodies of the frogs, and their acidic, poisonous fluids, as well as the corpses of those frogs that have melted themselves. Not knowing where they're coming from, there's nothing I can do. Even the sweat falling from my forehead seems like venom to me, as if some kind of illusion. Shh. I don't know. I don't want to see it as if nothing else can be done. But... You're slow. A light suddenly shines up through the darkness. A soft breeze blowing in the crack returns me to my senses. Cover your eyes! Did she just cover me in whipped cream? Immediately after saying this, the girl pulls a pin from a fire extinguisher she's holding. The entire inside of the souvenir shop is filled up with the smoke from the fire extinguisher. A fire extinguisher? Now we could jump over, but now we can't jump over the frogs. I can see what's going on. This isn't all. Almost in sync with the girl's words, the sprinklers activate. A large amount of water immediately sprays us, an amount greater than after the strongest rain striking my body. When I open my eyes, the girl reaches out her hand with a firm expression. While the water's running, even if you get hit with a little venom, it'll wash right off. Don't be afraid, just run for it. If you fall, you'll die. The floor is soaked. The floor is soaked. I might slip. At that moment, I falter, and... Okay, so I can either choose go around or run straight through. I'm going to put 60 seconds on the clock. Because I'm offering anyone in the chat the opportunity to influence the decision. Because I have a feeling one of these is going to cause instant death, but I don't know which one. I'm going to do a save. That's what my thought is, to run straight through. Because go around seems a little too cautious. But I'll give it a little bit more time. Yeah, that's definitely what I'm thinking. Alright. Run straight through. Got it. I have no time for doubt. I run for it through the rain from the sprinklers. Gah! I try to run without looking at my feet. The sensation of squishing that slippery meat continues. The liquid that gets scattered around with a squirting sound is washed off in the rain. Just three steps. That's just a moment. I think I did it. Ah! Idiot. With one less step, I stumble. The girl grabs me with her extended hand and pulls me out. Yeah, so this game has 31 endings total. 28 of them are bad ends, which are like just premature, you fucked up, you got yourself killed endings. And I've experienced 4 of them right so far. Thank you, but there's already been more than 5 minutes. So why? As I catch my breath, I express my thanks to the girl. I just remembered that I owe you a debt. Yeah, that's exactly what it is. So there's 28 bad ends and there's 4 what they call true ends. The true ends still might be bad, but the bad endings are, yeah, just like Nightcry, where you climb into a washing machine and get tumbled to death. I don't know if you saw that one in your playthrough. That was like one of the few that I saw. Yeah, the washing machine one. I would love to play that game at some point. I know it's horrible, but I want to play it. Yeah, we purposely got that one. I do not blame you. You're kind. I might have misjudged you a bit. You didn't misjudge me. If you had hesitated any further, I would have just closed the door. But you believed in me, right? That I could do it? You're gonna drive me nuts, so stop it with that stuff. Expressionlessly, the girl says this in a flat tone. Holding on to this gentle feeling, I prepare to move on. Speaking honestly, I want to rest here like this. My clothes are soaked, and I've used up a lot of my strength. However, it feels like if I were to really relax, I might never get up again. If I don't keep my momentum, I can't save Himeno. It's bonkers. You had a lot of fun playing it. It's bad, but it's fun. It's no Clock Tower 2. Yeah. Now, by Clock Tower 2, are you meaning Clock Tower PlayStation? Or are you talking Ghost Head? Because Ghost Head was bad, in my opinion. A lot of just things that made absolutely no sense. I'm able to gain some relief from resting against the wall. The girl who rescued me seems to be resting just as I am. Yeah, I really want to go back and play Clock Tower 3 at some point. I've been holding on to my PlayStation copy for like the longest time. In fact, let me grab it. Yeah, doesn't 3 go, like, Magic Girl at some point? Yeah, so I only have a handful of PlayStation 2 games that I've held on to, even though I don't have PlayStation 2 anymore. So I got, like, Katamari Damacy, still. Shadow of Rome, which I want to get through at some point. Fatal Frame 3. And then Clock Tower 3. And those are the only PlayStation 2 games I've held on to from my old collection. I never got far enough in Clock Tower 3 to actually see the Magic Girl stuff. I remember I was being chased by a guy with a sledgehammer, and I kept, like, cheesing it by going behind a curtain to run from him. But this was a long-ass time ago I played it. I'm able to gain some relief from resting against the wall. The girl who rescued me seems to be resting just as I am. Huh, this Gacha Gacha is... As we were resting against the wall, I realized that the type of Gacha Gacha situated in front of the souvenir shop has changed. How ironic. 5 years ago. What do you mean? You said it yourself, that your sister went missing 5 years ago. You remembered? Of course. Inside the Gacha Gacha machine, there are many keychains. They all have charms with various creatures attached to droplets. The link between Mari and I, and now the item of my memories that links Himeno and I as well. My little sister, her name is Mari. I didn't ask. Jeez. You see, 5 years ago, we had an argument over keychains. Mari wanted my jellyfish one, but I wouldn't trade with her. She disappeared, sulking. Still didn't ask. I like you, whatever your name is that we don't know yet. I have this one. Yeah, she is cold. I take the keychain that I've received from Himeno out of my pocket. It's the one with starfish attached to the droplet. Huh. As I hold it out to the girl, I realize there's something attached to the back. The hell? A picture printed on a sticker. And it's a pretty old sticker at that. A small girl and a man embracing her. The two of them are smiling and seem to be having a lot of fun. The man, who is wearing a suit and seems quite serious, is probably her father. The words "Man in Aquarium" run along the picture's border. The souvenir shop had a sticker photo booth, so I'm sure they took this picture here. More than anything else, I'm disturbed by the fact the girl in the picture looks like Mari. Not just her face, but her long hair and that smile too. As her big sister, this girl seems she could be Mari's twin. Hey, that's... Pointing to the keychain, the girl speaks. My consciousness is yanked back from my memories. What is it? I ask the girl as she shows interest in the keychain, but I receive no response. Her averted eyes tell me nothing. Your little sister, she went missing here, right? Huh? Yeah. The girl suddenly changes the subject back, leaving me a bit flustered. She doesn't press any further with questions. It's the same with my dad. Huh? But in my case, I know he's dead rather than missing, so it's different. I know he was murdered. Your father was murdered? I can't grasp the detached way the girl is speaking. She's talking about her own family member, but the girl is completely apathetic. She has the calm of someone reading a newspaper article aloud. Well, I'm going now. But... I haven't heard all the girl's story yet, and if things get like they were before, it'd be better if there were two of us. The words won't come out right, but the state of panic I'm in should be enough to express what I want to say. However, the girl stands her ground to the end. When I'm with you, you hold me back. Hold you back? What do you mean? If dying is what it takes for me to learn the truth, then that's fine. You never could really resolve yourself to that. Fine with dying? You can't let yourself die. Shut up. Shut up. You're awful. You have that friend Himeno, right? If you die, what happens to her? I have no idea whether or not this is her way of trying to encourage me. However, I understand what she's trying to say. She's trying to say that each of us is on our own. Let's become friends. That way you can't say so easily that you're fine with dying, right? That part of you is exactly what I meant when I said you'd hold me back. Yeah, on your own versus frogs. Well, to give you an idea of what I've experienced so far, including deaths, I've been stung by a man-o'-war jellyfish and killed. I've been crushed by an orca floating in midair. Twice. I have died of insanity. Yeah, it's an aquarium, so there's all sorts of aquatic creatures. Without answering my question, the girl pushes me away. Swiftly turning her back on me, the girl walks on ahead. What should I have done? I stay where I am until the girl's back becomes so small I can no longer see it. I'm gonna do a quick save. I pass in front of the souvenir shop, then end up standing in front of the door to the jellyfish booth. I wonder if the girl is already gone. If she ended up at a safe place, she probably already passed through it. If nothing happens, it takes less than a minute to pass through the jellyfish booth. If by chance she's still there, we'll surely just meet in passing. The girl is determined to take a different path than I. I wonder, what will happen to me? I may return to a point where before the glass tank ruptured, or I may end up in the jellyfish booth sometime after the glass tank... wow. End up in the jellyfish booth sometime after the tank glass ruptured. I'll never know if I don't try going in. I become cautious. Slowly I open the door. What do we got on the side? Huh? At that moment, the air becomes shaky. Oh, the jellyfish room is all red. So before, it was just a bunch of jellyfish, different color tubes. Now it just looks like red tubes with no fish? What is this? It's different. The field of view before me becomes red, and the air becomes so cold I could freeze. This is no longer a matter of dimensions, of wondering what time period this is. Something is different. The jellyfish booth is distinctively in a different place from the aquarium. Yeah, that's what we're trying to... So that's what it seems to be, is that you end up in some kind of either alternate time or alternate dimension every time you enter a different room. So the ending where I went insane, I actually got out of the aquarium, but I had left my friend and the sister that I was looking for in there. So I basically went crazy trying to get back into that dimension and never able to. Yeah, kind of like Sliders. Except he actually... Oh, Sliders. I was going to say it, but he actually leapt home, but that's Quantum Leap. Yeah. Man, Sliders was a good show until those last two seasons. All the water in the tanks, it's red. In the jellyfish booth I know, the transparent jellyfish are illuminated by various colors of lighting. The reds and purples are usually a pretty sight, but this place is different. All of the pillar-shaped tanks are bright red. Oh yeah, they did do that. When was... Which season was that? It was pretty early in, wasn't it? Like, I think Jerry O'Connell was still part of the show when that happened. But definitely not a show they should ever bring back. Because I don't think they could handle it now. It's a repulsive sight, as if all of the water had been replaced with blood. That being said, I would love to see a return of Quantum Leap, but they did kind of end it by saying he never left home. So, really would just be more adventures. I have to go. A bit confused, I take a step forward. Despite the fact the floor at my feet should be solid, I stagger. My sense of equilibrium is off. Yeah, I used to have those all on DVD, the sliders, but... Like, I got them from, like, really cheap at a store that was going out of business, but I just... plowed through them. If I can pass through another door, I should be able to escape this bizarre phenomena. No matter what, I have to hurry. Suddenly, I stumble and place my hand on a pillar tank. The temperature of the tank is slightly warmer than that of the cold air. Oh, there's going to be something in there, isn't there? Huh? Just as I'm about to move forward using the tank to support myself, I peer into the red water. Where there should be jellyfish floating about, there's something completely different. Alrighty. Not quite a jump scare, but it still kind of snuck up on me. No! I'm unable to stop the scream that bursts from my mouth. An unbelievable sight stops me in my tracks. A face. A red face. A face. A face. Ah! Human faces float about. Whatever is below the neck appears as if it has been assimilated into the blood, blending in with the contents of the tank. It isn't just one of them. Just as with the previous jellyfish booth, there are more and more and more. I wobble and break away from the tank, landing on my backside. I don't know whose face it is. It's not as if it would be someone I know. But no matter which face it is, they all seem to be staring at me, here in the heart of the jellyfish booth. Taking a step back, I see that all the tanks have human faces floating inside of them. They have some differences, such as some of the faces being blank. Some have their eyes bulging open, and some have bloodshot eyes, but they're all looking at me. What is this? Oops. That face over there's nose is twitching. This face's lips are trembling, and way over there, that one has a crease in its brow. Ba-da-dum. My heart beats faster. Ba-bum, ba-bum, ba-bum. In rhythm of my heartbeat, I experience hallucination that the faces of the tank are drawing closer. No, this is... What? What is that? Is that a giant-ass ear? Or is that another sideways face? I can't tell. No. It isn't a hallucination. I'm certain that all these faces are getting closer to me. The fact that they are getting larger serves as proof. The boundary between the tanks and the air is gradually being removed. This room is becoming all water. The faces are swimming in that water, drawing closer to me. As the faces draw closer, the sound within the water grows louder. Rather than someone's laughing voice, it's the sound of someone sobbing that grows louder instead. Either way, either way is the same to me, wearing away at my mental state. I'm not even gonna try these laughs. Stop it! A voice unfamiliar to me is sneering at me. Little by little, these unfamiliar faces are closing in on me. Before I realize it, my fleet can no longer confirm where the floor is or not. I have to go. So I put all my strength into my knees. I've already learned that time is of the essence. I have to take some sort of action. Should I use force? Should I steady myself to move easier? If distance is the issue, then the way I came is just a bit closer. I move on or go back. Put in a timer. Start now. I have no clue what the right answer will be. But we're saving in case it's the wrong answer. Yeah, move on. Okay. I'm up for that. They do have noses, so I would imagine they could smell fear. Yeah, that's enough time for now. Let's move on. My resolution can no longer be shaken. Even if I go back, I don't know if it'll be safe. In that case, I have to choose the way with even a small chance. Unable to tell whether I'm floating or standing, I frantically move my arms and legs. The faces are closing in, but even as I look up, I'm not afraid. Persuading myself, I move forward a bit. Even if there's no feeling left in my legs, I get the feeling I'm actually drawing closer to the door. Just a little more. Oh! Suddenly, a loud sound interrupts my movements. That sound is familiar to me. It's a sound I heard in the jellyfish booth before. The sound of the glass breaking resonates from behind me. Still, I won't give up. I refuse to turn around. If I were to see something bad right now, this time my heart may really break. In that case, it may be better for me not to know. Hi, 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 hi. Mike. No. On the heels of that thought, various voices, all laughing and crying, begin to resonate behind me. They're probably the voices of those faces floating in the blood. The voices steadily draw near, finally closing in on me. Fish with human faces. They say they fish with human faces swim about. It reminds me of an urban legend Himeno talked about. However, I don't have time to be in shock over a rumor being true. Oh, it's probably just the blood faces. Yeah, don't worry about it. Man, I just want to go to that booth where you pet the stingrays. I won't falter. Human faces and shards of glass are passing by the edge of my field of vision. Occasionally they touch my cheek or forehead, but I move forward. I drift as I move along, grabbing the door with a clack. I encourage myself out loud so I don't lose focus. I have no idea what lies ahead. Almost at the same time I pulled the door, I begin to feel heavy pressure against my back. It's heavy. Why? I can guess what has happened. Surely the fish are stopping me from moving on. This feeling of having my clothes pulled on is proof of that. I never thought fish could be this strong. I'm going so... I bite down on my lip and try to move forward. The harder I try to move forward, the stronger the fish's resistance becomes. Himeno is suffering even more. I shut my eyes and grind my back molars, then hurled myself at the door. The door flies open and I fall to the ground. Even so, I muster up my strength and shut the door. There's no longer any pressure against my back. I think that was the right decision. We were not eaten by the blood faces. Huh? Beyond the door is not the Fish of the World booth. It's dark and narrow, similar to the staff passageway I passed through before. Turning about and looking around, I realize that this is a passageway after all. So the jellyfish booth had at least 3 doors. The one I initially came through, the one that leads to the entrance, and this one that connects to the staff-only passage. Oh, I had Mexican food, so I'm a little indigested. The closer inspection shows me that the wall is made of one-way glass. It has been created using something stronger than acrylic fiber. There's water in the space between, serving as a border between the booth and the other side. Like a magic mirror, it has been made so that customers cannot see the staff members moving about. From here, I can see the Fish of the World booth. Somehow, this place feels safer when compared to the jellyfish booth. It's very different from the first time I visited, with the offensive smell being completely gone. Inside, I see familiar silhouettes. That's 2 females. One is an adult, the other is a girl. The visibility is a bit dicey, making it hard to tell, but that looks like the girl from earlier, and... Saganuma Riko-san. The female aquarium employee, the heartless one who said Himeno couldn't be saved. The 2 of them are in front of the tank I'm looking at. The fact that they haven't realized that I'm there must mean this really is something of a one-way mirror. Both of them are facing each other, their expressions grim. The sound is cut off by all the layers, but I can tell they're arguing over something. Ah! At that moment, the girl raises her right hand to Saganumi-san and follows through with all of her might. She slaps her with such vigor that it surely resonates with a loud, dry smacking sound. Saganumi-san rubs her left cheek and grins widely. Seeing Saganumi-san grin with such composure after being struck gives me chills. The girl only deepens the crease in her brow. At this rate, things will only intensify. I realize that I have to stop them. Okay, putting time on there. Should we stop her or observe? As we determined that it's a one-way mirror, they can't see me, I can see them. This might be one of those, as I said, there's the 4 true endings. This could be a branching path as well. This feels like Sliders meets Cube 2 Hypercube meets Corpse Bride. You kind of love and hate it. I can hear that. I gotta go back and play Corpse Party. Again. I was playing on the Vita, but I have to pick it up because my Vita is long gone. Yeah, let's just we got a 50-50 shot. Let's do a save. Let's go with... Let's observe the situation. No, I don't want to get pulled into this. I reconsider my decision. That girl said it strongly herself that she wanted to be alone. Surely she would hate it if I intervened. If things escalate, it's a different story, but for now I decide to watch over their actions. Their quarrel continues. The girl is using hand gestures to get Saganumi-san's attention. In contrast, she merely looks down on the girl. From my perspective as an outsider, it doesn't look like she's even paying attention. Gonna do a lurk? Yeah, at 3 a.m.? Dude, go to sleep. Thanks for hanging out, though. I really appreciate it. I'll definitely be hanging out on your stream. Let me give you a quick shout out. I think I've got the shout out on here. SO. Does it work? It might be broken. Nope, there we go. It works. Alright, have a good night. Oh, what could have happened? What in the world could have happened that could bring them to such a climax? Though I have many questions, it's unlikely that I'll get any answers. A sad expression appears on the girl's face for a moment. Then she looks away from Saganumi-san. Saganuma-san. I've been saying Saganumi. At almost the same time, the composure leaves Saganuma-san's face. She creases her brow and opens her eyes wide, her nose twitching. Something has touched a nerve, getting her attention. Even without that sound, that much is clear to me. Huh? Wait! Without thinking about it, I pound on the wall. However, this doesn't seem to cause much of a ripple, leaving me cut off from the two of them. This time, Saganumi-san hits the girl. Then she immediately grabs the nape of the girl's neck and throws her into the wall of the tank. There is no sign of the impact. Oh, damn! No. Having hit the back of her neck on the tank, the girl falters and Saganuma-san flips her body over, grabbing the back of her collar. The girl's face is turned in my direction, and I realize she's fainted. She is unconscious. A horrible premonition runs through me. With the girl's chest pressed against the wall of the tank, Saganumi grabs the back of her head and smashes it against the tank wall over and over again. I can't see Saganuma's face, as it is bathed in light from behind has become a silhouette. The only thing I can see is her lips, which dangle in the shape of an anchor. No, at this rate she'll die. Without thinking, I scream. I have to help her! I can't stay quiet any longer. At any rate, I pound on the wall before me. Come on, please let it get through. However, no matter how many times I strike it, Saganumi-san doesn't look this way, as if the sound isn't coming through. Since the sound from the other side isn't coming through, then the sound from my side shouldn't come through either. It figures. I have no choice but to go out there. I grope about, trying to find a crack at either side of the wall. From top to bottom, left to right, I go along the outer side of the tank and look to see if there's a way to get in from below. A handle of some sort would be great, or anything that could serve as a starting point. There's nothing. Nothing. I still can't find any way whatsoever to get to the other side. Panicking over what I should do, I frantically search for the door. During that moment, the girl continues to have her forehead bashed against the tank right in front of my eyes. A gash is torn right across her forehead, her blood clinging to the tank with each hit. The blood sticking to the tank makes a red line as if someone tried to wipe a brush across it. That one line of blood quickly becomes two, and the two merge into one large pool of blood. No! No! Her eyes are wide open. The blood from the girl's forehead is making them seem bright red. From those eyes, I can sense no sign of life. Saganuma Ryoko's lips are, of course, smiling. Stop this! Unable to stand anymore, I scream. However, it is pointless, merely echoing back through the passageway I'm in. Stop! This already. No movement is left in the girl, save for the shaking of her eyeballs. Not just blood from her forehead, but as her entire body goes limp, fluids from all over leak out. Huh? As the life fades from the girl, I see a movement from her lips. I mimic that movement with my own mouth. The truth of the deep sea. As these words are unvoiced, I have no idea whether or not that's what she really said. However, to me, that's what it seemed like the girl was saying. Seganuma Rieko tosses the girl. She flops over as she hits the floor, having been reduced to a mere object. My mind goes blank and I sit down. I couldn't save her. She was right in front of me, at a distance short enough that I could have touched her by reaching out my hand, but I couldn't save her or do anything to help. Just in case, Seganuma Rieko kicks the girl over. Her heel strikes the hard floor, and that which was the girl's head flops over. Just like that, she leaves the Fish of the World booth behind. At that moment, I see bright red. Without a moment's pause, the girl's corpse loses all traces of life. It decomposes and goes beyond that to completely dried out. Some new phenomenon is starting, but I can't stand up as I am right now. I'm powerless. I can't do anything. Something hot wells up behind my eyes. No. I don't want this. I don't want Himeno to die like this. But the image of that girl's expression as that she was on the verge of death is scorched into my mind. So hollow, yet so desperate. Her face burning up with rage. That face keeps appearing within my bright red vision. The deep sea. The truth. Just before the flame of life was extinguished, I think those were the words the girl left me. Then what? I don't want to just sit here brooding like this. Big sister? Huh, that voice just now. Although it seems easier just to break down and cry, hearing the voice of my little sister somewhere brings me back. That was Mari's voice. Big sister, come this way. Mari, where are you? This way, over here. Where? Where? I said this way, over here. It is Mari. Mari's voice. It really is. But from where? Before I realize that I'm on my feet. Mari's voice echoes about the room like an announcement from the loudspeaker, but I can't find the source. I don't want to lose sight of this one strand of hope that has filled the hole left by my feelings of anxiety. Let's go. I cannot forget that girl's death. Stricken with grief and near the breaking point, I hold myself together. Thanks to Mari. This is... Recklessly coming out of the passageway, I end up right where the tunnel tank leads out. Big sister! Big sister, this way! Mari? Is that you? I slowly turn in the direction the voice is coming from. Oops. Exiting the tunnel tank, I can see a wide wall before me. In front of it stands a girl wearing winter clothes. It's the same place I saw Mari the first time. Geez, big sister, did you get lost? Mari, I'm glad. Mari, are you really here? Really here? I'm right here. The same color hair as mine, the same colored eyes. We were often mistaken for twins. With the silhouette of a doll, she's wearing that warm-looking overcoat. Mari is right here, looking just as she did that day. Mari, why are you here? Did you forget? Jeez, you meanie. We came together to the aquarium. There is no way I could forget. None at all. It's just... Why? Why did you disappear? You're the one who got lost. I'm here. I've been here all along. Mari. Without hesitation, I embrace Mari. She must have caught a chill, as her body is cold to the touch. Big sister, what's wrong? This is embarrassing. It's fine, Mari. We're finally together again. Jeez, big sister, you're such a crybaby. That's right, I'm crying. After Mari points it out, I realize my cheeks are covered in tears. Just as I'm about to stop, I cry again. Okay, let's go, big sister. Mari says this in a cheerful voice as she pats my head. It's a strange feeling having my little sister rub my head, but not a bad one. I feel my head being enveloped in a soft feeling as if I'm floating. Go? Where? We'll go somewhere higher up. Together, you and I. Somewhere higher up? Higher, softer? That place is eternity. Eternity? Grinning ear to ear, Mari points her right index finger towards the ceiling. The feeling that had begun floating upward grows even stronger. Yes, there's nothing. Yet everything there. It's really fun, really soft, and a place we can always be. A world of happiness. Happiness? I don't understand what Mari is trying to say. But if it's happiness, that might be okay. The fact that I'm able to reunite with Mari like this makes me extremely happy. My thoughts melt together in happiness as being with Mari. I smell something sweet with a hint of lemon. If that's what the world will be like, we'll surely be happy. Let's go together, big sister. Mari. Don't get lost anymore. Okay. Mari reaches her hand out for me. I sit upright and reach for Mari's outstretched hand. I hear the sound of something falling down with a clatter. I take Mari's hand or wait. Gonna put 60 seconds on the clock. I'm personally thinking that take Mari's hand is a early end, where we just accept death. So I'm personally leaning towards wait, but yeah, as that is up to you, the chat. Oh, by the way, if you have any suggestions for any games that you would like me to play, you can send it to me either through the DMs on Discord, or here, Discord, Instagram, or Twitter. So let me give you links to those. Discord, Instagram, and Twitter. As I said, I'm always looking for suggestions for new games to play. As long as they fit my stipulations. Which, you know, it's an obscure game, it's something forgotten by time, budget, or language barrier. A good way to determine is if you go on Steam, if the game is available on Steam, and it has, let's say under 100 reviews is really a good sign for an obscure title. Under 200 is even fine. Something more than that is also okay, but it has to be something... recent reviews, there hasn't been many. So it's something that gets forgotten. I'm gonna wait. Drawn to the sound, I look down at my feet. The keychain with a droplet and starfish. That precious memory for Mari and I. That unstable bridge connecting Himeno and I. This keychain has a sticker with a picture printed on it attached to the back. So it probably isn't Mari's, but it has the same shape. Sorry, Mari. I've been regretting not trading you the jellyfish keychain this whole time. I got hung up on something so petty, so... No, that whole thing? It doesn't matter. Huh? At Mari's words, I withdraw the hand I hold out to her. Just now, Mari said it doesn't matter, not don't worry about it, or it's not important. She declared it nonchalantly, with that smile that she always wears. My heart resounds with a loud thump. At that moment, Himeno's words flow through my mind. For argument's sake, even if this Mari girl is here, she would have grown in 5 years, and her clothes wouldn't be the same. It's summer, so she wouldn't be in a coat. Moreover, all of a sudden that floating sensation disappears, and instead I feel the impact of falling to the ground. In reality, I had been sitting, so my fall was more like tipping over. This isn't right. This isn't right. What's wrong, big sister? Come on, let's go. Save. And I'm gonna go for this isn't right. Yes. Himeno's words vividly rushed through my mind. Surely Himeno has saved me, because I can now clearly see the form of that thing before me. You're not Mari. No matter what, Mari was never the type of girl to say it doesn't matter. Not to mention that the keychain had been so important to us. I can't see her declaring that something like that doesn't matter. What are you saying, big sister? I'm Mari. I'm Mari. When Mari refers to herself as she always drags it out. As I get up, I announce this to that thing before me. I'm Mar. Oh my. She has turned to goo. The girl's body begins to become blurry, like a staticky image. I realize that I can no longer look directly at her. I knew it. You're not Mari after all. Muddy is probably a fitting term here. The thing that had been Mari up to a short time ago begins to melt, transfiguring itself into one clump into countless fish. The fish begin swimming in the air without water. This pattern of behavior is bad. If I get caught up in this bizarre phenomenon, I'm sure to drown in this place with nothing. I have to get away. As I mumble this, I search for a door. If I can go through a door, I should be able to escape the phenomenon in front of me. Mari. Saying I wouldn't regret leaving them is a lie. But that thing, it isn't Mari. It's just an aggregation of fish. I can't be deceived by them and lose sight of my precious goal. I was so naive. Fine. Even so, it's fine. It happened somehow. If I have time to get down about it, then I just need to not let it happen again next time. I will save her, no matter what. Finding a door as I run away, I throw it open with great force. Sound a drop fall into poison. So since we are going into another section, I'm going to save.